I'm joined today by the one and only Hands of Steel himself, Geoff Neal, set to fight real soon against Mike Perry at UFC 245. I know everyone's looking forward to it. Thanks so much for joining me, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's no problem at all.
Oh man, well, thank you once again for joining me. Listen, this fight against Mike Perry, first things first, looks like everybody wanted this fight to happen. Yourself, Mike Perry, the fans. How did this fight exactly come together?
Um, I called him out a couple times. He always like posts about like he needs a fight and he's not fighting a fight. So I'll post every now and then like, hey, I'm here. I'll fight you. And then I don't know how it really came about, but my coach came up to me and said, hey, we got to fight Mike with Mike Perry, and I was down for it.
Yeah, I mean, what was your reaction when you said that? Because we know you've called a lot of guys out before, and guys have called you out, but it seems like fights don't always come together. What was your reaction when they told you that Mike Perry is a go?
I was surprised. I didn't think it would actually happen. I figured he would try to get another fight, but he took the fight with me, and I'm glad. I'm grateful. It's a big opportunity for me.
For sure. What does a win in this fight do for your career? I mean, we know you guys are both guys who like to bang. You have big power. Let's say you get the win in impressive fashion. What does this do for your career at this point?
Probably nothing with the rankings, because he's not ranked right now. But it'll bring more eyes to me because he has a huge following. You know what I mean? Everybody loves to watch Mike Perry fight. And I put on exciting fights too, but people really don't know me. So like after me and Mike Perry fight, they're gonna start noticing me. Like, oh, this guy, he brings it every fight too.
And did you think that with the Nico Price victory, obviously it was a very exciting fight, did you think this would get you a higher ranked opponent, or did you not really give any thought to that?
I really didn't give any thoughts for that. It was just because I don't know. I didn't really think about that. I figured I would get a top 15 opponent, but then I got in and I got bumped right back out when Luke Gay fought. So it was like, fuck, now I gotta wait till my next fight to get back in the rankings and shoot for a top 10 opponent.
For sure, and let's talk about this Mike Perry fight a little bit. I mean, first things first, I'm sure, of course, you knew Mike Perry before the fight came together, but what are your thoughts on him as an opponent?
Thoughts on him as an opponent? He's tough. He brings to every fight. I know he's gonna be willing to stand and trade. I know he might go for a takedown if necessary. He's real strong. He's powerful. I feel like I'm the faster opponent. I'm longer. I'm more technical. So we'll see how that goes.
And what do you think of the matchup in this one? I mean, we know you guys both like to stand. You do, of course, have the option of the ground game, but what do you think of the matchup?
The matchup is perfect. It's a great matchup for the fans. Like if you want to see an exciting fight, me and Mike Perry is 100% most definitely gonna be an exciting fight, no matter what.
But when we do have two guys like you that like to stand, that have big power and stuff like that, is there a bigger chance, that you have to be more careful in this fight because you do know he has a lot of power? I mean, is that something you think about, or is it just kind of being confident in your game and doing what you have to do?
Yeah, I just got to be confident in my defense. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, like everybody has like knockout power. Well, almost everybody has knockout power in the welterweight division. I just got to be in my P's and Q's and make sure my defense is tight, and I'll be good.
And are you one of those fighters that watch tape before fights? I mean, are you going back and watching Mike Perry's fight to prepare for this one?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched a few of his fights. I haven't watched too many. My coach and a couple of training partners, they get real in depth with his videos. I'll watch a few. I'll probably watch a little bit. I'll probably watch more once my training starts to die down and I focus more on just the technical aspect. But right now, I'm just focused on little certain aspects of my game plan and my cardio.
And we do know that with Mike Perry, the reason I ask, of course, because his last fight, we saw what Vicente Luque did to his nose. What did you think when you saw, his nose pointing one direction and the other half pointing the other direction?
He's a tough motherfucker. Because that happened, and then he got put in the guillotine, and he didn't tap to the guillotine. It looked pretty fucking tight, and blood was like spraying everywhere, and he didn't tap, and he ended up on top at the end of the round throwing punches.
And I do want to talk to you about your last fight, but before that, I have to ask you, I believe you did an interview with James Lynch, and he said that you had actually quit your job. I believe you're a waiter at Moxie, or were at Moxie's. What happened there? I mean, did you really stop working over there?
Yeah, I really stopped working over there. I was once I found out word on this fight, I was like, man, it's time for me to quit and really focus on you know what I mean, just what I got to do. Serving, it takes a lot of mental energy out of you, and it's like, I mean, right now I'll be probably getting ready to go to work. You know what I mean? Instead of like now I'm about to go get some food, chill, relax a little bit, and let my body heal up from this week of training that I had. But I wouldn't be able to do that if I was still serving. You know what I mean? I'll be back at work on my feet until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I mean, it's good. I think I made the right decision.
And I have to say, I was surprised when I saw it because I know last time I talked to you, you were saying that you enjoyed, being social, having something outside of fighting. I mean, was it a tough decision or was it pretty easy because you're just ready to do this?
It was tough. I was talking about quitting for about a month before I actually really did quit, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in this week, and then I wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't do it. But it was tough, you know what I mean? And I like all the people that I work with, so it was a tough decision to just quit.
And so that happens, and I believe you said your employers were fans of MMA and the UFC. I mean, they do follow your career a little bit. What did they think of the decision?
I don't think they really. You talking about my coworkers or my two training partners?
I don't know your coworkers. I assume the training partners were happy with it, but
My coworkers. Yeah, yeah. My coworkers, they're fine. They miss me, but they'll be okay.
yeah, for sure. So how does that change your daily schedule now? I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but I guess your days are spent, training. Now you have more free time. I mean, what does your day to day look like in this camp compared to past camps?
Like I said earlier, like today I will be headed to work. Now that like we always work out Saturday morning, and then after we get done, I have to go home and get ready for work. I'll usually be doing that, but now I'm just gonna eat some food, go home, chill, ice a couple little bruises I got, and watch some Netflix and get some good quality rest for tomorrow.
And so, do you spend more time in the gym and more time in your training camp now that you no longer have your job, or is it actually just better for more recovery and stuff like that?
It's better for more recovery. It's the same amount of gym time. I don't know. I'm not putting in extra hours in the gym because I don't need to. I'm doing enough during the week to where when it comes to the weekend, I don't have to go that extra mile. You know what I mean? And beat my body down. So I'm just using this as a recovery.
And we do know you're at one of the best up and coming gyms, and currently one of the best gyms in MMA at Fortis. What was your coach's reaction when you told him about focusing on MMA full time? I mean, is this something that he kind of wanted you to do in the past, or is he just kind of let you do what you wanted to do?
I mean, he supports whatever decision that I make. You know what I mean? As long as it's what I feel is best for me, he's behind me 100%. He really didn't have too much to say about me not working, but he supports me 100%, whether I'm working or whether I'm not working.
And for sure. And you mentioned watching Netflix. I feel like it's important to touch on this, but what are you watching currently now that you have this newfound free time?
Oh man, I've been watching documentaries right now. I'm watching this World War II documentary that's going through all like the battles, and it's all in color, and they like remastered all the old footage and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, a lot of people, you ask them, it's like, oh, orange is the new black and stuff like that. But you came out with the smart answer, the documentaries.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so much stuff on Netflix like outside of the TV series. You know what I mean? You can learn just like new things. You know what I mean? And Game Changers came out. That's show that a lot of fighters need to watch. Because that will change perspective over your diet. But there's a lot of information on Netflix that people just don't look at because they rather watch Orange or other bullcrap.
All right, so you touched on the documentaries a little bit in the diet. I believe there's one that came out about veganism or something like that. I saw a lot of people talking about it. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it, but
yeah, that's the Game Changers.
There we go. So you got a chance to watch it?
Yeah, I had a chance to watch it.
And so, I mean, did that change your mentality about your diet at all, or is it just something interesting just to kind of watch?
It did change my mentality about the diet, but it's I was going to go vegan and try it out, but I'm not going to do it before this fight. You know what I mean? So because I don't want to change anything that I've been doing and try to do something different, and then it affect me in a negative way. So after this fight, I'm gonna try going vegan for about a good month and see how I feel about it. But I'm just not gonna do it in the middle of a fight camp, something new like that.
But I assume as an athlete, you do need a lot of protein. I'm sure you talk about it in the documentary, but are you afraid of not getting enough protein, or are there ways, even though you're vegan, to still get as much as you need?
Yeah, 100%. There are ways to get meat. I mean, or protein if you're vegan, but it's just a little different. But we're not worried about protein. I'm getting too big anyways. I need to slim down a little bit.
All right, I do want to talk to you about your last fight against Nico Price. We pretty much know that any fight that has Nico Price in it is going to be crazy. I mean, what did you take away from that great fight and that great performance?
I took away this I can't wait. You know what I mean? I waited on him like a lot in the first round. He's a tough dude, and it was a good fight for me to deal with somebody so crazy and unpredictable. You know what I mean? Never knowing what he's going to throw, what he's going to do, and to keep my composure in those quick, crazy situations really made me feel good.
Is that something that's going to help you with your career in the long run because you do know that you have this sort of a different experience from this fight?
Yeah, 100%. You got to have fights like this. That's why this Mike Perry fight is a good fight because it's going to be I'm fighting a dude that's doesn't give a damn. Like he's going to come in, he's going to throw punches, and he's going to try to take me out. And that was like pretty much the same thing with Nico Price, but just in a different way. To have two fights like that before I make this run for the belt is good experience for me.
And you mentioned the fan base a little bit at the beginning of the interview. We were talking about the Mike Perry fight, but we know that a little bit over a year ago, you got the viral knockout. So far, all your fights have been really exciting and stuff. Do you feel like since you've gotten into UFC, have you built a bigger fan base? I mean, do you kind of feel that, through social media and everything?
It's getting there. It's getting there. I don't have like a lot of people know me, but they're just not fans of me yet. You know what I mean? Like people know my name. They're like, "Oh, Geoff Neal, okay, cool, whatever." But I just haven't did something huge yet. You know what I mean? Once I do something huge, then I get more people behind me.
So is this a case of obviously you say some huge out in the cage as well, but is this something using more social media to try to get more fans? I mean, I've seen you use Twitter a lot more. Is that something that you have to do, or are you just really gonna let your fist do the talking?
I feel like it's a double-edged sword. I feel like yeah, you can post a lot of stuff on Twitter. You know what I mean? I feel like the only way to get fans, like as in the MMA part on Twitter, is if you like to talk shit. You know what I mean? I'm not a shit talker, so I'd rather just let my fist do the talking. Like if I get some great knockouts, people are going to follow me regardless if I post every day or not. But yeah, just let my fist do the talking.
For sure. And you mentioned these knockouts and stuff and shit talkers. Mike Perry, obviously, he's talked a lot of trash before his fights. Are you surprised there really hasn't been a back and forth leading up to this fight?
Uh, Not really. I really haven't followed his pre-fight stuff too much, so I really haven't seen him talk too much shit. I didn't know. Like people tell me he talk shit. I'm like, I didn't know. I thought he just like gets crazy at the weigh-ins and he, you know what I mean, does like extra shit in the cage before the fight. I didn't know he was a shit talker, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he did make some remarks, some like 8 Mile remark, talking about how like I was nice when I met him and whatever. But I thought it was kind of funny because he was nice, just as nice as I was. So it was weird that he would say that. But yeah, he didn't talk shit yet.
And so, what kind of fight are you expecting out there against Mike Perry? I mean, you listen to the fans, listen to the people of Twitter. It really sounds like people are expecting just this barn burner back and forth. But we know it might not be the smartest fight. What kind of fight are you expecting out there?
I'm honestly expecting whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting it to be me just picking them apart. I'm not going to say I'm expecting it to be a brawl. I'm not. It's wherever the fight goes. I'm going to be mentally prepared for it.
All right, now I have just one more for you, and then we'll let you get your food and get back to your Netflix, of course. But how do you see your hand getting raised out in this one?
Honestly, I'm trying to go for the first round, knockout. That's what I always go for. If not, then we're just gonna draw it out to 3 rounds, and I feel like my cardio and my speed would give me the decision on that too.
All right, well, that's all I have for you. Thanks so much for the time, Geoff. I really appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure hearing from you, and it's great to see you rise so far in the UFC, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, bro.